Hey guys, it's me again, and I am back with another book review. If this is your first time here, my name is Fontaine, and I am a lover of all things books. Today, I am doing a book review on The Women by Kristin Hannah. Now, I just got done with this book yesterday, so it is fresh in my mind. I'm trying to get these book reviews out to you guys before the new year, okay? So I'm pushing these book reviews on you. This book was great writing. I'm going to say that because, of course, Kristin Hannah never disappoints. She does not disappoint. She tells a good story. And she tells a good story when it comes to her historical fictions. I've read other books by Kristin Hannah. Of course, I got introduced to her, just like majority of you, by reading The Nightingale. That was an amazing book, by the way. If you haven't read it, go read The Nightingale. This one was highly recommended to me by so many people, so I wanted to jump right in it. Okay? I don't know what I'm going to give this book. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, and this is probably the very first time this has ever happened in the history of me doing reviews. I don't know what I'm gonna give it, but it is going to be either 3 or 4 stars. It's hard for me to give it 5 because of the stories in the book when it comes to being a historical fiction, because it was set in the 60s around the time of the Vietnam War, and you know, for black people, the 60s was not good to us. Well, there was really never a time when America was good to us, but this book hits on those points. Like I tell everybody, and like I say in all my reviews, before you read a book I recommend, make sure you check your trigger warnings, okay? Because this book hits a lot about the war and about the past and about civil rights and about, of course, women, because the book is about that. It's literally called The Women. And it's basically about the women who served in Vietnam. And in Vietnam, most of the women who served in Vietnam are nurses. So that is what this book is about. I'm not going to tell you too much because I don't give spoilers. There is one book I want to spoil, but I don't know. But anyway, we're talking about this one. So The Women, of course, like I said, Kristin Hannah never disappoints when it comes to telling a good story. She knows how to give detail. She doesn't give you the runaround. She gets straight to the point. But when she's making you get to that point, she's gonna like get you there in a way that you won't be lost and you'll know all the details. Drama, of course, family drama. There were moments in this book that made me cry. So I love a good book that can make me cry. But again, it fell short for me because of the time period it was set in. And in some ways, I didn't feel like it was realistic for how her family was treating her going off to war. But again, I do want to say this. This is my first book reading about the Vietnam War. So maybe that's just different for me because of the fact that it's my first time reading something about the Vietnam War and women going over to Vietnam. I've seen movies and documentaries about the men fighting in Vietnam, but never anything about the women. So it's just new to me, you know. And again, you guys know I only read historical fictions and psychological thrillers. So this is right up my alley. It is a psychological thriller. I will say again to please check your trigger warnings because this book can be heavy. It can be deep. It has a lot of sensitive subjects that they cover. I would say do your research. Check out book reviews of other people talking about it on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. I like to go into a book blind because if people I trust continue to recommend me a book, I will read it. And that's what I did with this one. So again, I don't know what I'm going to give it. I know it's not going to be 4 stars. I know it's not. I'm sorry. I know it's not going to be 5 stars. I know it's not going to be 5 stars. But it's fighting for 4 at this point. And I don't want to say that it was boring. It was not a boring book whatsoever. This is the kind of book I want you to read and judge for yourself. Now, I have come on here plenty of times and told y'all about books that I just couldn't finish and I couldn't get into, and they were, or books that I did finish and they were horrible. Okay? I've come on here and I tell the truth about my reviews. This one, I just don't know. But now that I've read it, I will go on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok and see other people reviews and see how they feel about it and see if somebody feels the same way about me. Okay? I want you guys to be the judge of this book yourself. Judge it for yourself Let me know how you feel about it. If you've already read it, please let me know how you feel about it, because somebody just slid in my DMs and asked me, what do you feel about that book? Because I posted on my stories on Instagram that I finished it. Somebody slid in my DMs and asked me, what did I think? I think for me, it may just because I'm black. Reading this book was kind of hard because I'm black. It was an easy read as far as storytelling and as far as grabbing my attention. I got through it because of that. Like I said, Kristin Hannah writes a very good story. She's a great storyteller. But the fact that this was set in the 60s and the 50s and how they treated black people, of course, that's what made it hard for me. Okay? So, I don't know, because of course I'm seeing other people of other races talk about this book and they're giving great reviews about it. And I'm like, oh, we're going to see. And here we are. But that's it for this one, y'all. Y'all tell me, I'll come back with what I give it, a 3 or 4. I'll let y'all know. I will let y'all know. But that is it for today. If this is your first time here, come on over, follow me. I give great book reviews. Again, like I said, I only read psychological thrillers and historical fictions. I will read other things like fantasy or what's the other one? or sci-fi, romance. I don't read a lot of romance, but I will if people continue to recommend me something. Okay, that is it for today. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.